Beep, beep. What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and welcome to Paradox Volume 3, your next peak time Rave festival modern techno sound set. Now, I have to say it this way, guys, because this is not a sound set if you're making melodic techno or techno where it's very chill. Now, one of the biggest problems I have in creating sound banks is the fact that I want to make sure that most of these sounds are going to be usable, because one of the worst feelings you're ever going to feel as a producer is going to be when you buy a sound bank and maybe 1 or 3 presets are cool, but the rest are just kind of filler material. Well, not with the sound mix that I create for you guys. One of the things that I do to ensure that you're getting quality and that you're going to get sounds that inspire you and that are going to be usable for you is, again, a lot of research and also using references to create my sounds. For example, when we look at the Beatport's Top 100 and you start to hear a lot of these songs, you're going to notice that there are some things in common. Number one, a lot of the leads are saws, and there's a lot of Rave staff leads and a lot of acid. So what that tells me is that those are the kind of leads I want to recreate, that I want to put in the pack. From there, we are going to hear each song and try to make leads that sound similar but not super exact to the sound that we have in order to make sure that this sound is usable for the pack. For example, the Lily Palmer We Control one inspired this chord step called Lillian, which is going to sound like this. And then when we add this mod wheel, we're going to get this very massive Rave stab. Now, the first set of presets you're going to run into in Paradox Volume 3 is going to be the acid sound. Now, I do have to say this, guys, there's mod wheels in these presets, and this is what differentiates us from a lot of the sound design companies out there, is that they don't put effort into creating moments for you. And what I mean by this is, for instance, here we have this acid sound called Battery, which sounds kind of cool. It has these modulations. However, if I play this, sounds good, right? But here's the thing. You can make the sound better by modulating a lot of these guys. They're there to help you sound better and to create variation and ear candy for your track. For instance, let's say you have a track and you're just doing, and then from there you want to add variation so it doesn't get boring. To create a little bit of unpredictableness, then up the mod wheel. So again, all of these modulations are going to give you opportunities to create variation and excitement in your track. Very important. So from there, that's the first patch you're going to see, but then we have a bunch of those kind of acid lines. For instance, Formentor is probably one of my favorites because it reminds me a bit of the old Pleasure Craft, but here we have an acid one called Sulanti, which you can play a higher octave or you can play at C3 range. And again, same things apply. We can mono it. That sounds a lot more interesting to your ears, of course, because you're hearing it going like, wow, I like how it goes from mono to set. From there, there's other mods, of course. For instance, we could do mono, and then we could do a bit of a call and response with that if you want to utilize the same patch. But again, those mod wheels are there to give you, one, a lot more sounds for sure, but at the same time, they're there for you to modulate to bring these sounds to life. So I encourage that you explore them. Okay, so there we're going to have the Sulanti one. Then I'm going to show this one, The Door, inspired by Space 92. I forget what key that's in, but you can already recognize it most likely. Can move it. Again, it's inspired by Space 92. It sounds like it from The Door. It's one of the big drops. However, there's mods there for you guys to differentiate it, to make it your own, so that it doesn't sound too of the same. However, again, there's nothing wrong if you just want to go live, because it's a sound that is a staple in these kind of tracks that you hear a lot, which again makes the sound usable for you to use and for you to trust, knowing that this is gonna work. So from the acid sounds, we're gonna have a section called Additive. Now, the idea of the additive ones is gonna be for you to layer. So for instance, let's assume here we have a kick with this, and let's put a kick rack in there that I'm gonna get into towards the end of the video. Okay, so here I've added a rolling bass from the pack called Rolling Power number 4, which you're going to find in the bass section. However, the way the additive works and the way that my vision is for this stuff is a lot of people will usually do this. which sounds kind of cool. But again, one of the things and one of the revelations I had a couple of years ago when it came to production was accentuation of stuff, accentuating that bass rhythm at certain spots. So for instance, I have this pattern here that's going to be playing on top. So we can even change that to maybe just off. Put it up, or use sneak here after it. But again, that's a lot more interesting to hear than just, I guess this works, and you can use that top part for variation. But again, these additive sounds are all going to be there. Help you move the track forward. Now from there, we're going to have the bass section, which is not going to be as big as the other paradoxes, because I wanted this paradox to be mainly for the people that are making this festival kind of techno. There is going to be some rolling basses and some basses here and there, but there's not going to be anything like Art Bat, Boris Brejcha-ish, or anything like that. Again, we're trying to make this pack for people that are making this kind of stuff, and this is how we're going to be able to make this pack usable for them. So the first sound we have is called Composite. And again, play with the mods. They offer a lot of opportunity. For instance, the higher pong we would probably use during a transition in the track and in the chorus. We can use it to create a little bit of like variation in the sound when needed, when it doesn't need to be super fat and big, okay? From there, we're going to have the fucking Reese. Now, this one is created during the live stream, and a lot of these presets are going to be created from live streams as well. The idea of the live streams that I do here on YouTube is going to be for people to request songs and songs that have sounds they want in the pack. So this is probably one of the ones that, again, this artist by the name of the fucking recommended. So it's going to sound like very fucking big, okay? So this is a cool sound, and it's a sound that's coming up a lot in, again, these kind of techno tracks. If you hear like the new Control by Space 92, Popov, UMEK. So again, have fun with that, but these are super mean, super there, and if you can fit them in a track like Space 92, UMEK, and Popov pull it off, then by all means try it out. So from there we have another one called Evolve, which again is going to be one of those rollers. We have a wub. I understand not everyone wants rolling bass line, so that's why we add these mods. Again, we have another one called Mover. That changes drastically, so that turns this bass into more of an additive. It's not going to be a main bass. FM Touchy. We can get like a cool little shot, okay? The next sound we have is Industrial Bay, inspired by, again, Hilo and LA Brown. This is probably one of the only tracks that has a very nasty main lead as a bass line, and it's going to sound something like this. It's a very nice sound, and I knew it had to be in the pack because it has a lot of character. Now, this is probably one of the sounds that if you use, you will probably go like, I sound like Hilo and LA Brown. Maybe not a good thing, but at least you understand how they got something similar to it so that you can also study and use these presets as an educational tool. But to me, I don't like promoting the pack that way, because as a producer, I'm always looking for presets as well, because I want to get into a state of flow and I want to make sure that I can work on music fast when I'm feeling super creative. Okay, here there's a couple of modulation. That you can play around with, okay? As we move along, we have BA July. That just made my phone fall off the damn thing. That thing is fat, okay? So there's that. Again, macros and whatnot. So those are some of the bass lines, guys. There's going to be a section where it has rolling basses. So from there, we're going to move on to the chord section, which is probably one of the more sections that people want to hear in the pack, because, again, this is the current meta of the techno that is currently peaking a lot on the charts. So here we have one called Breathe. So the idea, of course, is just going to be get rid of the filter. Again, make sure to play better things than I'm playing right now, but you get the idea of how we reduce the chord steps. So here's a couple of like previews. You can make it dry. Again, and then, of course, a little fun mod. Hannah definitely wants that. All right, so you get the idea. Happy Mass Man. All right, so those are going to be some of the chord subs, and I'm going to play the best one, which is the Lillian one. That's my favorite one. I swear, just need a kick. So again, guys, those are going to be there, and make sure you get on it before someone else does. That's a very, yeah. From there, we're going to have a bit of choirs. So these are going to be just for the people that are looking for a choir sample. Again, these are going to be resampled, of course. My beautiful voice, and then from there brought back in. Wavetables created for them, but you can see how it works. And then okay, maybe you go up if you don't like the bottom part of my voice. So they're going to be choir based. You already get what we're trying to get at. If you're on the Beat Push Top 100, what's the name of the song? Choir of Spirits, Joyhauser, coming for you. From there, we're going to approach the Earcandy section, which is probably one of my favorite sections. Now, the reason of the Earcandy section I wanted to implement there, because it's very unorthodox to see it in any other soundbank company out there or presets that you buy. The Earcandy section is there as these are sounds that I feel aren't going to be main leads. They're not going to be main anything, but they're going to be really cool supplemental sounds to create variation in the song. For instance, Animorphs is one that's going to be an Earcandy that's probably going to linger a lot. You can see how we can use it to create a very dark background with this guy, or you can use it as one shot as well. So from there, we're going to move on. All right, you get the idea with that one. You can have a couple of like effect, or you can make it very known. This one's probably one more of a one-shot sort of thing. And then with the mod, you can control the length. So I think you're getting the idea of these. Control your mind. And again, of course, you can post-process these sounds. For instance, this one, you might decide to make it a little more fine-tuned, like to get rid of the highs if you're going to be doing what I was just doing with that vocal response. And you can see how I'm moving this mod and creating a lot of dope variations to the sound, which again, each one is going to be, yeah, now this one was bought from my local ketamine dealer. He's just a follower of mine. It's again, one of the guys that sent me a couple presets, said, hey, put these in this pack, reworked it, and now we have this one, which is a really good one. So thank you, DNNS. He knows who he is, and if you want to look him up. He has some very dark, not even dark, just very strong techno, okay? I'll put this one last. Lead section is probably going to be the biggest part of the pack. As you can see, there's so many leads. And again, the idea of this is this pack's not going to contain a sample pack, so I'm going to assume that you guys are going to be coming in with like big kicks with rumbles in them. So these are going to be more for that, becoming the main element of a break, of a song, or supplementing any form. It's not going to be the sounds that are going to be in the back. So first one we have is called Lee Saw More. Okay, very crazy, very ravey sound. Again, these are very saw based, but they have that sound that you just can't replace. Here's another one. Turn Turn it into a wub, drop. This next lead that we have here is very interesting. It's called lead 2099. Now it says jack of all trades as a joke and as a reason as well, because the idea of this lead is for it to start like this. Yeah, you're starting to get the idea with it, okay? And then here we go. Okay, I messed that part up. This is the part where you get goosebumps and like say, wow, what the fuck? So again, guys, this is what makes us different from every other soundbank company out there, is that they don't put effort into this stuff. They just put the leads, no modulations. And if there's modulations, they make no sense. So again, I have to advertise like that because I have to show you guys why my packs are good. I feel like they are. Okay, moving along in the lead section, okay? Now let's humble down. Okay, so the next sound we have that I think is very sought after is the lead Believe. I forgot how it's played. So as we move along, there's going to be a lot. The lead control, which I showed in the intro, it's going to be like. So let's just go through a couple of more of these and call it a day on this section. For instance, here we have DNNS. Again, supported by DNNS. And now we can play at optimal octave. All right, you get the idea. This is lead Distorted Destiny. It's probably going to be one of my favorite leads in the pack if it's not one of those big ones, but you get the idea of why. Next time we have is one that I showed on my Instagram, which I got a lot of comments about, including some big acts. Wink, wink. All right, so we're just going to play it. So again, the mod rules are there to create the variation. You might start off with this lead something like. Okay, you get the idea, and then you can make it really nasty. Get rid of the noise if you don't like it. Okay, no OTT on this sound, by the way. What you like is the compressor. So again, just processing the sound further for you guys so it sounds fucking badass. Now, if you're a guy that hates compression, that's totally fine. Get rid of it, and you're good to go. So this is going to be lead Instagram Fat Saw. Okay, so there's going to be a lot more leads that you're going to be able to discover. I'll show a couple more, like lead Obscurity, which is another very sought after. Emily Lenz, I do love you. This is my phone number. Hit me up if you use the pack, but I'm kidding. That's not my phone number, but hit me up. You know where to find me, Instagram.com/SamWorldMusic. Okay, I'm married, but I mean more as a like, yeah, I'll send you more secret sounds and stuff. All right, as we move along, there's lead Plaza Negra, Realistic Skeleton. This is the last one I'll show. You can hear this one in the demo, but the idea. Again, I'm showing you a couple because we would be here all day, but you get the idea with the pack. Those are some of the leads that you're going to find. Again, it's good stuff. From there, we have pads. Boring part of the pack, I know, but it needs to be there. We do have a Plucky Fuck, which... very Serum sounding because it's a very wavetable-ish pad. I feel like wavetables are the bomb when it comes to making pads. That's constantly evolving. Here we have one called Explore. The last thing I do have to add that with this pack, I am going to add a bonus for the people that are using Ableton because it's the best DAW in the world. No, it's just because I only use Ableton, so I can't make these for FL Studio. But these are going to be kick racks. There's going to be a total of 6 in there as a bonus for those of you guys to support the pack. And the idea of this is, again, you're going to put it on a kick. You do have to have a form of... you got to know what you're doing to an extent, but I did make them a little noob friendly. Again, don't mean bad intentions with the new board, by the way, just people that are starting out. Do mess around with it. For instance, this one. Kick without it. Very basic. All right, guys, and that's going to be Paradox Volume 3. So, again, if you have Ableton, you will get the bonus rumble racks there. And if you don't, it's all good. It's just going to be 6 of them. I'm just testing the waters to see if you guys like them. So make sure to let me know. You can Instagram me or just comment on this video on YouTube if you like the rumble racks. I would really appreciate your feedback on them. Again, just put any kick, switch it out, and see how you react to it, because I do have an idea of making a bunch of them and maybe selling them in the future for you guys. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed Paradox Volume 3. This is your next techno modern sound set. And much love to you guys, and thank you guys for the support throughout the years. I've been doing this now for about 10 years where I'm a professional. I get paid for it. So hopefully that's enough for you to trust me. And again, I also say thank you for allowing me to do it for 10 years. It's been a blessed life. Love what I do, and I hope that these sounds bring joy to you as well. Peace out. Paradox Volume 3 is out now.